This past summer, when the Boston Esplanade Association wanted to bring contemporary public art to the area, it commissioned Boston's Now Plus There to curate and produce a mural west of the Mass Ave Bridge. Now, interdisciplinary artist Silvia Lopez Chavez jumped at the idea of working with her team in transforming what was an uninviting section of the park into what is now, and you can see, a fun and bright destination. Now, the mural is 13 feet by 120 feet long and faces the Charles River. Now, with roots in the Dominican Republic, Chavez was chosen for her bright color harmonies and for her work mentoring young women artists. Her work reflects her experiences as an immigrant, a woman of color, an educator, and an artist. We now welcome Silvia Lopez Chavez to Urban Update. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Good. Dominicana.
Sí.
De pura cepa.
De pura cepa.
Absolutely. All right. What a cool project.
It's been wonderful. It's been a greater experience, actually, to being able to take this time and work with such a wonderful group of people. I had an amazing team with Now and There. Executive Director Kate Gilbert and her team helped immensely to make everything happen alongside with the Esplanade Association. And it's been a place where the Esplanade, the river in general, has been one of those places that since I moved to Boston, actually, I have been able to go there and feel this beautiful mix between the city and the water. And being from an island, I love being by the water, so it's one of my favorite places in Boston. So being able to do art there and enhance and make this space so alive, become alive from a very utilitarian structure that is concrete pillars and wall, and make it into a colorful, vibrant space that is much more welcoming.
It looks really good. I'm going to have to drive by there and get off the car and drive away. Now, you're very passionate about giving women artists kind of a platform and a voice, right? That was part of why I think they loved your work as well, but I think your whole team and some of your kind of values. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Sure. I think that in general, female artists are not as represented in this field as they should be. There is less opportunities normally when it comes to public art. It's a very physical type of work. Usually you're working large scale in outdoor space. You have to be strong, and there's a lot of artists who need that training from the very beginning, from a very young age. You don't only have to be trained to be a good artist, to really hone those skills and craftsmanship on whatever you do, whether it's painting or sculpting or other types of public art. But in this case, I have had the opportunity to work for several years with teenage girls and young women to learn these skill sets, to be able to know from concept, going to the location, talking to whoever owns this wall or this particular space, and going from that process from the very beginning stages to the completion and execution of the project and what that entails, which is much more than simply painting a picture. And so it's very important to me to be able to plant those seeds early on, so they have more opportunities to build a portfolio to show that they can do this work. And any opportunity I have, I will take it and run.
Absolutely.
And actually
now,
work
how
with
was
them.
the mural funded?
The mural was funded by the Esplanade, Charles River Esplanade Association. They actually fundraise, is privately funded. They were able to hire Now and There, this nonprofit organization, to produce and curate the whole project. And they hired me as the artist to actually be able to
with your team,
create.
right? And how long did it take?
It was approximately about 3 weeks total. We had some rain dates.
Right.
Working in the public realm and outside, you have to work with what you have. And sometimes weather doesn't always contribute to that, but yes.
I hear, too, that we have a mutual friend as well, Tim Estilos, because you're also over at the Children's Hospital, right? Doing wonderful stuff with the kids, right? As an artist, and with Tim as well. I know he gives of his time there as well.
I'm currently an artist in residence at Boston Children's Hospital, where I spend 2 days a week making art with patients and families there. And I help do several different kinds of art making, and help exhibit the work of the kids that they produce there. And yes, he's one of the artists in residence. We have a creative arts program that involves both visual artists and music therapists there.
Now, what's been the response from the community? I imagine your family as well with the work, but I mean the overall community. What's been kind of the feedback?
Alberto, one of the things that was amazing about this project was the fact that we started working at the site simply putting gray down, the very bare bones of painting these columns so we can prime them in order to do the mural. And since that moment, people were curious. They were really excited about the fact that it was actually starting to change somehow. This is a place that feels very dark and damp when it rains.
Used to,
also,
not now. Look at that, right?
Not anymore. But once we're working together, people will ask, are you a crew, an all-female crew of construction workers? And we're like, well, kind of. We're going to do this beautiful mural on here. And ever since that started, people really responded positively to the drawing that was going on, the colors. To me, color it was so necessary in that space, and it is part of who I am.
I want to see, I know we've probably put it up, but if Soko could put up the photo of before you even started. There's a photo of, so that's what it looked like before. I remember when Jen wrote all that graffiti there when she was young, so when you had to clean all that up. But that's what it was before, and then you kind of had this vision, right?
Yes, I spent quite a bit of time there and tried to really bring in the energy and how people utilize the space. And I wanted to make sure it was site specific. One of the things that I really like to incorporate in my work is being able to bring in how is it being utilized? What kind of imagery is needed there? And as I was mentioning before, color was one of those things that come from my upbringing, comes from that bright color palette of my background. And it really felt that it was a time and a need for it. In a time where we feel so, it's so easy to be depressed with news that are so difficult to understand and to digest. And it's uplifting. We needed something that palette color and the movement and the energy that I wanted to bring in with the design was to be able to help and bring that joy that we kind of really need right now.
Now, are you a perfectionist?
I can be a little bit, yes.
So when you look back, is there anything that you would have done a little differently? You look at it and go, or you I know you're happy with it, but little things that you would have done a little different?
I'm pretty happy with this particular piece, actually. We spent a lot of time, and I don't think we've rushed it, and that's very important. When you rush something, it can be tricky to get to the place where you want it to be. That could change in a month, I don't know.
So what's next for you? What's your next project?
Well, I have 3 other murals actually coming up. They're brewing. I'm still in the beginning stages of discussions about when and what type of imagery. I have a meeting this afternoon actually at my studio visit for one of them. And it's very exciting.
Well, we're going to keep tabs on you. Keep
Sounds
changing
good.
the city. I love it.
Yeah.
Good job. Gracias, okay?
De nada.
All
Siempre a la
right.
orden.
Listen to this. It's one of your compatriots is going to have a show, an event. Because that's it for this edition of Urban Update. But before we go, a shout out to Red Sox Hall of Fame Dominican pitcher Pedro Martinez and his wife Carolina. They are hosting an intimate evening benefiting the Pedro Martinez charity on Friday, November 3rd at the Colonnade Hotel in Boston. Now, the star-studded event will raise vital funds to support thousands of children in the United States and the Dominican Republic, as well as victims of the recent hurricanes. Hope to see you there. I am Alberto Vasallo. For all of you here and for all of us here at Urban Update, have a great Sunday, everyone.